So hello everyone, it's me, Max. I know it's been a while since I've posted stuff on my channel, but here we are, and we are here to talk again about Saints Row. So the reason why I do this video is because there's a lot of people who actually ask my opinion on the, I was about to say upcoming game, but by the time that video is released, you will of course have the game available to buy. You will buy it or you will not. I had to decide this video will only be about my opinion. My only opinion, and I'm not here to rant about the game. I'm not here to praise the game, because I try to look on the bright side and the dark side of this game, because there's positive side but also negative side, like every game. So we will take a look at it. First, I need to apologize because you might heard sometime the sound will cut, and sometime the sound will jump. The reason why is because the video video editing software that I use is a bit laggy. He sometimes does weird stuff, so you could have bugs at times. So don't worry, it's not your fault, it's the fault of my software, basically. Alright, so I'll divide this video in 4 parts. First we'll have the intro, then you will have the prompts, after the cons, and then a conclusion with some remarks from myself. So first, a lot of people also asked my opinion, and I had to say that I did not expect a new Saints Row at all. For me, the game was kinda dead. I mean, sort of, like the feeling of Saints Row 1 and 2 was dead after the third, because they really changed how the game looks in the third. It doesn't look like street gang gang anymore. Street gang anymore. It just looks like, you know, a sort of silly parody of GTA, and it's really sad because it's not what it's used to be on the beginning. Saints Row was actually a really sometimes goofy but mainly serious game, and it decreased from episode to episode. The third was acceptable. It's not a game that I hate. I actually pretty liked it, but there is a lot of downgrade from the 2 and the 1, and the 4 is like not acceptable at all. The only like cool thing is the reference to previous episode, and that's all. So for me, I did not at all expected a new episode of Saints Row, and when I saw it, I was like, yeah, okay, let's give it a chance. But my hopes weren't that high, because I knew like the game was, for me, at my eyes, it was already a dead franchise. It's sad to say that, but for me, it how it felt like. So for me, I did not have hopes at all for that game. That might be why I'm not here crying or breaking everything in my room, because I don't like really care anymore. Even though it's sad, because it's actually my favorite franchise, and Saints Row 2 is my favorite game of all time. So it's sad, but it's something that I grew up with. The idea, basically, that I won't have a new Saints Row, a good new Saints Row game. Only in my dreams I could imagine it, but not in reality. Second, Volition, actually, so I tweeted them when they released first. It was a picture of their group. It was a Zoom chat, I believe, when they showed that they were working on some assets of the game, and so I tweeted and I said, please don't mess up, we trust you, if this V with the face on the middle. And basically, as you can guess, I did not buy that shirt, because I mean, from the time they did the tweet, we had no info about the game. We had the first trailer reveal was not out yet, of course, and so we had no idea of how the game was looking like. So I was very hopeful for that game. I actually did a review of the trailer. I watched what Mr. Saints Godzilla and some of the other like YouTubers who do videos about Saints Row. They did a stream when the trailer released, and I watched it. I commented, but it's in French, so maybe as a bonus, if you guys really want to, I will post it. But yeah, it's just me reacting in French and being between disappointed and really having no idea if it was like true or not, if it was really a true sensor or not. And so it was a challenge that I asked to, you know, I put to myself, like, if the game was actually fire, and I was like willing to do it, buying a shirt with the because as I said, you know, Saints Row 2 is my favorite game of all time, and if Volition really stepped up their game, if they really had done this, well, I would have bought a shirt with the Volition logo on it. And so before this video, like the thing that you are currently listening to and watching, because there's some Saints Row gameplay and pictures on the background, I did not watch gameplay of it. Some part from the trailers and some things that I saw. And it's honestly from what just from what I saw, it's really like a lot of people complaining, like there's a huge shitstorm, because I know a lot of people basically that their goal is to, you know, they are OG fans, kind of like me. They are fan of the 1 and the 2 or both, but they are not fan of the latest games, basically. So they kind of shit on the game. I mean, it's their opinion, you know. I'm not here to say that they are wrong or they are right. It's just their opinion, so I will respect that. So I did not watch anything. I will probably, maybe if someday I buy the game, because I think I will buy it when it will be a bit cheaper, because 60 euros is a bit expensive. But basically, yeah, I will probably do a review. Probably, not sure. But it has to first come down on Steam, because I don't have a PS5. Alright, so first, I will go with the positive first, because there's not a lot of positive, because I mean, I have my own opinion, you can always have yours, and I will respect it. There's more negative, and yeah, I'm sorry for the people of the official Saints Row Discord, I'm sorry, but yeah, there will be a bit more negative, because I will not say the game is shit, of course. Yeah, it will be just plain mean and not true, because the game is not shit, but there is a lot of more negative than positive. So first, positive side, there is a gang returning. So the last game actually was, if we doesn't count Engines of Mayhem, because it's not a real Saints Row game, the last one was actually Get Out of Hell. So GOTT was, I never played it, because of course, as a Saints Row fan, you probably know that I am not interested in like medieval fantasy hell game. Like I'm not a huge fan of Dark Souls, and like having, yeah, I know that there's Satan inside it, and yeah, that's a bit weird. It's a weird game, but basically, yeah, there were no gangs inside of it. There are no actual gangs, you're just fighting against Satan. It makes no sense. And in the 4 aliens, there is some returning gangs. Like I remember there is a mission where you have the Brotherhood returning, and there is a mission with some with Veteran Child. So there's some gangs, but you don't actually fight them, and you don't actually fight to regain the neighborhood that you are, you know, trying to conquer, basically, on the Stillwater. Here there's nothing, and even in the third, it's not real gangs, because it's a syndicate, and the syndicate is just a huge organization with small gangs, but can we really call them gang? Not sure about this. Like, for real, you really have to go back to Saints Row 2 to see real gangs, and here we do have real gangs, so it's great. Second one is a new place to explore, Santo Ileso. Santo Ileso is actually, I think it's based on southwestern USA, so close to, let's say, New Mexico, Arizona, maybe southern California, places like this. Nevada probably also, because there's a lot of neon lights, so it might be a reference to Las Vegas. But basically, yeah, it's southwestern USA. It's deserty. There is a lot of like Mexican theme influences, so we can see that, yeah, it's from that part of the country. The map doesn't look that bad. I mean, from the look of it, like, it's cool to have a new place to explore. Even if I'm a huge, like, die-hard fan of Stillwater, like, for real, I'm a huge fan, and I would have loved, basically, to have a... I will probably say it in the conclusion of what I expected from the game. From, like, the release. But yeah. It's cool to have a new place to explore, basically. A third one will be the graphics, because even if we say that the game is, it's true that it might be broken because the game just came out. It's today or maybe tomorrow, like it's the 24, like August the 24th that I'm recording this audio. So it's probably today or tomorrow, but I know that a lot of YouTubers got paid to actually make a video on the game, so you might have a lot of videos from, like, of the game who already came out before here. So the graphics are pretty nice. The game looks clean, I'm not gonna lie. I will not spit on it. It's actually clean. The graphics are better than the two, even though, like me, I can enjoy a game like GTA San Andreas. I don't say the reboot, like the re-enhanced version. I just say the original one from 2004. And I'm not, like, in 2004 I was very young, like very young. So, like, very old bad graphics doesn't stop me at all. Like, for real, if we could have a huge DLC of Saints Row 2 with the same graphics, I wouldn't, like, be against it. I would have rather want this than what we have today. But the graphics are cool. If someone actually play a game for its graphics, which I found is pretty weird, the graphics are cool. Then the businesses and the upgradings of the cribs are back. It was something really interesting that started in the 2 and then also got pretty because in the 3rd you could have businesses, not in the 2. And it's cool. I think it's cool because basically you can have a very rundown crib at the beginning of your adventure, and then the more money you gain, the more money you are able to put to improve your crib and really make it look like a gang crib, basically. And then the last positive point is no superpower, no aliens, and no simulation. What was really annoying in the 4 is that cars, planes, everything, like, was useless. The game was very, like, tasteless. You had nothing to do. You just jump from building to another, and it went from Saints Row to, I have no idea of a good, like, superhero game, but it really felt like a superhero game, sorry, but with some parts of GTA, and it's really weird. Like, it was really happy they gave up on all that crappy stuff because it was really not good, actually. Then on the negative side, so first, the look of the characters. I'm sorry, but I gotta have to say, they doesn't look bad, but they clearly doesn't look like gangsters. They doesn't look like hustlers. They really doesn't look like gang members from the Row, from Saints Row. They really don't look like it.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
They really don't look like it. And I said that for the main ones, because a good majority of the other gang members from the... I forgot to say it, but yeah, we have 3 gangs: the Idols, the Marshals, and the Pantheros. And there is some minor gang that apparently I see appears in the desert. I'm not sure why they put this, but why not? So, do these, like, gang members actually look like real gang members more than your own crew of Saints? And yeah, like, it's a bit weird, but it's what I think. They doesn't look bad, but they really doesn't look like gangsters. They really more look like actually like college students, like they say in the game, actually. So it makes sense. Then the second negative point has to be Stillwater. Stillwater is gone. Yeah, I'm a bit sad. Like, I really love that city, and that they would put maybe, I don't know, some reference to it, maybe maybe an extension, a DLC where you could visit it. Not sure. Maybe it will appear. I'm not sure. I have really no idea what they are going to with that thing. So not sure. The look of some gangs. Alright, so a lot of people criticize the idols for looking like nerds, for looking like, you know, like Fortnite, Suicide Squad, and it's true that it kind of looks like it. But for me, having a cult-based gang is actually a good idea, and I think they should have done it kind of like, let's say, the Manson family, you know? Not so tech-based, but really like scary, really someone you would be afraid of. Because the idols are funny, like they are all dressed up, as I saw, in pink and blue, like blue, so it's a bit funny, and it's not really scary. So I think they could have done a better job with it, but it doesn't look bad. It's not that gang. The gang that I have a problem with is Marshall. Like, they are not a gang. Once again, they are not a gang. It's a kind of feels like the Syndicate. It's a gang that has more power than the actual police, and it's a mix between like the Syndicate and Ultor from Saints Row 2. They are a sort of like super organization above the police, because, you know, like the government cannot handle all the gangsters, so they have to call the dude, like the boss actually looks like that dude from My Very Odd Parents, that is the mayor with a very long, and it's true, he kind of does look like him, a very long cowboy hat. But basically, yeah, I have a huge problem with that gang because they doesn't look like gangsters as well. Yeah, a SWAT team, but in white, like dressed all in white and with white vans and white, kind of like ultra trucks, but in white, and they have really like tech weapon stuff. It's weird. So that's why I don't like it. The Panteros, they are a bit like, it's a really like boring, let's say, like, no, it's the Brotherhood but with more Hispanic influences, like Mexican influences, or Latin America influences, I feel like, because they are like bikers and car tuners, like they like to, you know, like pimp their cars, and it really makes me feel like Brotherhood. So it's not really original, but at least they feel like gangsters, at least. Then the wingsuit. Alright, so I said how do I say it? Like the superpowers are gone. But I really feel like someone in the Volition team said, oh damn, like the superpowers are back. How can I have fun flying in the city? And there is someone who decided to put a wingsuit. Why? Why do you have to do this? Because first of all, of course, in the real life, it exists. A wingsuit exists, but you cannot like jump from a high building and have a wingsuit and arrive on the ground in only one piece. That's not possible. It's not doable. So it's unrealistic, just like superpowers for me. And it has nothing to do in a gangster game. It really feels like Just Cause. I doesn't mean like that Just Cause is bad, alright? I doesn't mean this at all. But it's futuristic and it's unrealistic. Like the physics are really strange. Then the weapons. So I saw a few weapons that were in the trailer. I saw it's mainly the marshals that have that weird weapons. It's weapons that throw lasers or they stop you. I really feel like they are from Valorant. Like, it's weird. It's really strange. And I also doesn't know why they put this. Like, it's supposed to be a gang game. Why do you have to put laser guns? I really feel like they fired a lot of those people who decided to put aliens and superpowers in the 4. But some people were so high in Volition or Deep Silver that they could not fire them. And so I feel like these are those people who say, okay, let's put modern stuff, let's put goofy stuff, it's gonna be fun. No, it won't be fun. it's weird, and of course there is still regular weapons, but you can be sure that basically the laser weapon will be overpowered compared to the real like bullet weapon, so people will just use the laser weapon, and the bullet weapon will be out of use and it will be useless to use. So basically what you can do. Next is a censorship of the brands, family friendly. Like the game actually really feels family friendly, at least at first glance. At first glance, when they first released the first few trailers, it feels like it, because Rim Jobs, which is a play on words, a kind of sexual joke, just like Rockstar used to do a lot of 6ix9ine jokes in their games. I mean, it's supposed to be a mature game. Like you don't have to play it if you're a kid. I said that I started playing Saints Row 2 at a very young. First, I'm French, and second, I have no idea what it means, sexually talking, you know. But Rim Jobs is now Jim Robs. Why? Why do you have to put this? Is this like a off-brand, like a knockoff from Southwestern USA? I'm not sure. Freckle Bitches is now FBs. Why? Why do you have to change this? Like, I really also don't understand this. It's really weird. Next to this, the family-friendly stuff, I don't know if I say it next, but I'm gonna say it right now. In the end of the trailer, if you look at it, I think you did. Your main character, and no, like the main character is not in the negative points, because I actually know you can custom your own character. I know that a lot of people freaked out because they saw that girl and thought, yeah, okay, you cannot customize it, but I mean, of course you can. But anyway, at the end, that character say, "Get the fuck away from my friends." Like, it really feels like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic stuff. It's really weird. It doesn't feel like a gangster game at all. It's really family friendly, that's what I'm saying. It's really PG, it's weird. It doesn't have to like a place in a gangster, like dark game like Saints Row. I mean, at least like Saints Row used to be. Next is a Southwest American theme. I'm sure that people like in Deep Silver choose that area of the United States because of GTA 5, and I think that's the reason why they choose this. But GTA 5 is actually a hit game. Rockstar is really milking it, but we're not here to talk about this. GTA 5 is a success, and I don't think that Saints Row the reboot will have the same fate sadly as GTA 5. It's sad, but I think they really try to surf on the trend of having, you know, summer, deserty, cool Southwest American cities with some Mexican also influence, because there's a lot of stuff like burritos stands and stuff like this. So it has a lot of influence, and you can feel, I'm pretty sure that they choose that specific area and not let's say a city like Detroit or maybe Chicago, who would have been really more, you know, gangsta feeling. They decided to choose a city like San Diego, Los Angeles, maybe Las Vegas or Tucson, I don't know. Weird. But I guess. Then let me see. Then it's a total reboot, and there is no at all references to previous characters who are to what happened in the past. So you might say, yeah, of course, dumbass, it's a reboot game. I know, I'm aware of it, but the fact that they wipe with the back of their hand all the past, all the things that made their glory, because I'm pretty sure that the huge majority of their sales actually happened in the 2 and the 3rd, and the fan base, the people who are really like stuck to this Saints Row and who had the most hopes, are the first fans, what I like to call the OG fans, fans of the 1 and the 2. the third and the fourth fans are, they like the game, but they are not like so much fan. Maybe they went on GTA or stuff like this, but the OG fans, they like the game, but they are not like so much fan. Maybe they went on GTA or stuff like this, but the OG fans really were the most diehard fans of the franchise, and I think it's sad to actually forget about them. And there's no fan service. Like I said in the 4, you had a mission where you had to save Shandy, that was actually copied from the 2, but it was a nice Easter egg, you know, it was a nice reference to back in the past what happened in the 2. It was nice fan service. Here, there's nothing. You know you control Saints, because I mean, they say it. There's the color purple, there's the fleur-de-lis, but it stopped there. There's nothing else. There's nothing else, no references, nothing. Also, the map is focused on the city, on the center. I saw, as a sneak peek, I saw the map of the game, so Santo Ileso, and it really looks like they have the big lake on the middle. So it might also be inspired from Salt Lake City, who knows? Inspired from Salt Lake City, who knows? But basically, you have the lake, you have the city surrounding the lake, you have the desert, yeah, deserts surrounding the lake. Sorry, I'm a bit lost in translation. Surrounding the lake, and then that's all. There is the boundaries of the map. Maybe they will have more extension to the map, but from what I saw so far, because what I said, I did not want to spoil myself on if the game is trash or not. Like I just wanted to, you know, give you my own opinion, and it feels already like empty. It really feels empty. The reason why GTA 5 is so much of a hit game is because you have Los Santos, who is a like big map, you know, which is sorry, a big city on the map. But then you have the countryside, and then you have Grapeseed, and you have Sandy Shores, which is like, you know, a little city hidden in a desert, and it's really desert. I think I'm pronouncing bad. I'm talking about food, but basically, yeah, you have a lot of things that feels different here. I think they are going a bit dangerously towards the slide of Central the Third, who used to have a map where every bit of the city looked the same, and I'm really scared that the desert will look very, very empty. I'm very scared of it. I hope not, but it's like the map actually only revolves around a lake and its city, and it's a bit sad. Then yeah, there is that sort of wacky feel to the game, kind of like the 4. And what I mean by wacky is wacky is good, but for me the perfection of wacky stuff is the second one. Of course, you're gonna say it's my favorite game of all, but basically in the 2 you chopped off someone's head and put it on the meat factory. It's gore. But on the other side, you can drive a very like ridiculous small bike or a UFO, and it's goofy. You can kill a lot of people, doing on a rampage, killing a lot of people, innocent people, and the way you get out of this is going to a drive-through. It's goofy, you know, but it's not over the top goofy. Here you have like cannons, you have that shoots little like I don't know if you say in English. Wait a minute. Well, it's actually the same word, but it's confetti. It's a bazooka that launches confetti. There is those sort of vehicles that returns from the 3rd with the like Genki cat, where you can launch people in the cannon or stuff like this. It's really very weird, and it has that with. It's a bit out of place, I think, for a Central game, and I think the reason why they do this is to attract on the people who liked the 3rd and Central 4. I think that for me that's the only reason. And then because I got spoiled a bit about what happened in the game, because I watched the last trailer of the game, but it's a trailer, so I mean I'm allowed to look at it, you know, it's not the final game. And they say apparently that from the beginning you are linked to Marshals. You are linked with Marshals, the gang that I previously mentioned that I didn't like. Why are you linked to them? Were you linked to the, I don't know, the Vice Kings in the 1? No, you weren't. Were you linked to the Brotherhood in the 2? No, you weren't. Why? Are you like, you need to begin at the bottom of the ladder and you are already linked with one of the gang. It's really out of place and it's really weird, and I have no idea why they put this. You could have started maybe with the Panthers, I don't know, or maybe the Idols, I don't know, or maybe with none of them. I mean, it would make more sense trying to get like the 1 and the 2 lieutenants, and you actually learn more about each gangs with those lieutenants. I think they going with this because Kevin, the shirtless guy, like, oh my god, please help me, but anyway, Kevin, the shirtless guy, which only interest is him being shirtless, and the people who doesn't know why. It's funny. It's a bit. That's also a very wacky stuff. You have no idea why the hell it's there, but it's there. He's supposed to be linked to the Idols because he has sort of a helmet on the first trailer. For Nina, she's linked to the Panthers, I think, and I guess that Elise, I think his name like this, is linked to the Marshals. And why do you have to be linked? Like, it feels. I think it's one of the first. I never watched the game, okay, but I think it's one of the first missions, and it's actually really bad that they put you like in a gang right in the beginning. It's weird. It looks like a Total Wipeout emission, and it's with Marshall, so I have no idea why they decided to do this, but well, anyway. So it's all for the negative side, as you could saw. There's a lot of more negatives, non-positive, but once again, I don't say the game is crap. It's just like it is. Now I will go on the conclusion. So first of all, I have to say that the game was actually pretty like well, let's say, advertised, because even in my country, France, there's not a huge like Saints Row community. There's some fans, but there's not a lot of fans, and the huge majority of the fans are fans of the 3rd and the 4th. It's heartbreaking, like really, it's heartbreaking. A huge chunk of the population have no idea that before the 3rd, there's actually 2 games that came out before, the 3rd. So basically, it's heartbreaking. And in Paris, you could eat at the Chulapacabras taco stand, which is a real brand that exists in the Saints Row universe, like in the reboot. And you could win either stickers or a cup, I think, or a tote bag. And it's pretty insane. I guess that if I was closer to Paris, on that time, I could have visited and actually have a talk with the people who organized this, because I'm pretty sure 100% that they are not at all fans of Saints Row. They just might play like 5 minutes of the 4 or the 3rd, but they are not fans at all. It's like this. They should have taken me, and I could have made like actual good stuff out of it, but basically. Of course, a new fan base will appear with that new game. As I said, there is three type of Saints Row fans. You have the OG fans, who are the one who prefer the 1 and the 2. They often talk trash about the other games. I cannot understand why, because they are not that good compared to the other, but anyway. Then you have the modern fans, I would say, who prefer the 3rd and the 4th for its more wacky stuff, look, less gangsta, more soda, energy, drink, selling stuff. I don't know how you could prefer this, but anyway, let's imagine. But I still think there are decent, at least the 3rd is decent, but anyway. And you will also have people who will like that version of the game, which is the reboot, because since Volition Deep Silver wiped the existence of Saints Row from the new game, there is people who never look at it and will say, oh, that's a fresh game, that's a new game, I will love it. And when all the bugs, because it's happening, there's a lot of like a huge shitstorm that's happening with a lot of people complaining, and yeah, like there is a lot of bugs, but I think that game can attract some people. I think. Also, what I would say is that the game is cool. It looks cool. It looks pretty nice, neat, but it doesn't at all feels like a Saints Row game at all. It's really weird. It's really strange. It's a GTA-like for sure, but it's not a Saints Row. It doesn't feel like a Saints Row. It's not very gangsta. It's more like deserty themed. It's wacky. It's college students. You know, it could have been its own actual thing if Volition actually decided to do two separate things. This franchise you could have called, I don't know, like the Revenge of Santo Ileso, or Desert Bandits, or I don't know, like Fortnite. No, it's a joke. Please don't hit me. But basically, yeah, they could have done this, and on the other side, make a Saints Row 5 where they. So what I expected, I will say it right now. They pick wall with graffiti on it, and I really believed that it was a game that was a throwback from the past, from before the event. I'd say either of the two or the third, but it's, you know, I imagine that it was around like the 2000s or maybe the 90s, 80s. Would have been very interesting to go back to Stillwater and actually see what happened in the past with, like I said, Ben Kings and Julius, even though I know like the voice actor of Benjamin King passed away a few years ago, so they could have, they needed to look for another, you know, voice actor, but it would have been a good idea nonetheless, you know. So I mean, why not? That's what I imagine, but it's really not what we got in the end, really. And for me, I will say that I could buy the game, I guess, but and then very less expensive. I'm looking for at least $30, let's say. It's good for me. I cannot go on top because for real, for a game that I'm not sure I will enjoy, and from what I heard, a lot of people are basically trashing the game, saying the game is crap, and I think that the game might be a bit not trash, but not, at least not enjoyable, and a lot of people already finished it, so you can guess that 60 euros, it's a bit a pain of the ass to pay that high to a game that you're not enjoying at all. And then lastly, I will conclude on saying that, well, I'm sorry Volition, but I will not buy like a shirt of the Volition logo on it, because the game doesn't look bad, but this is not at all what I expected. And I said don't mess up, but it looks like you messed up, and I'm really, it looks like you messed up, and I really feel deeply sorry about it, because Saints Row is a franchise that I love, and I see a lot of people actually being very happy about the fact that this game is going to crash, to fail, and that Volition, Deep Silver might be again a new time in bankruptcy. Like they will have no money at all because of these failed games. Because Agents of Mayhem was failed, Get Out of Hell was failed, the 4 was not failed, but let's say it's not a pretty good game, and then the reboot will fail. Just keep in mind that if this one fails, we might say bye bye for good for the Saints Row franchise. So I wouldn't feel so happy about it, and actually I'm kinda sad to see what this game has become. It's the reason why when people say it's trash, I don't say it's trash. Say it's trash, I don't say it's trash. And when people are laughing about, I like, of course Volition doesn't listen to its fans, but I mean, what do you want? I see a lot of people praising the game, saying that the game is awesome, saying that the game is great, but will they have the success that they had with the 2 and the 1 and the 3rd? I'm really not sure. Anyway, thanks for enjoying this video. If you like this, don't hesitate to put me some ideas what I could do with Saints Row on the comments. I actually have a project of doing each neighborhood of Stillwater ranked. I also have a project of doing what part of Stillwater is in the real world. So this is a bit of much of writing, because here you just heard me talk for 40 minutes, so you know it's just me talking, but there's much editing on what I'm glad people ask me my opinion, so here you are. Have a great time and see you around.